Okay, hey everybody, welcome to DIY4 by YouTube. We're gonna start doing some video series on a lot of the different products we make. So thanks for joining us, and follow along, subscribe, do the like thing and share and all that stuff. So welcome to our YouTube video series. Follow along, see you later. These are the weld-on beadlocks that we're doing, the do-it-yourself beadlocks that everybody, you know, these used to be really popular item for us and they've kind of slowed down. So we're going to take a minute here, do a video on how to do these, what goes into doing these. And this set right here you see is a double ripper set. That's what we call them on our website. And we've seen these oriented and used in a whole lot of different ways. This is the way they were designed, for these teeth to be offset. You know, kind of cool look. Different color, inner, outer, really sets it off. We've seen people do them this way, like so. And that's kind of cool look too. You know, you can do anything you want with them. That's the thing. So our beadlocks are made out of all 1/4 inch thick steel, both inner and outer ring. Then something that you're going to see on our beadlocks, and I've had questions about this, we chamfer every hole. Every hole gets a chamfer. What we're trying to do there is remove that sharp edge on the steel itself, so you don't have that bolt shearing effect that you get when you press one ring. One ring wants to shift up against the bolts. If you remove that sharp corner, you know, you remove some of that shearing effect. Our beadlock rings, we grind the weld ring, and that's what you're looking at here, the weld ring. This would be the inner one. We grind the edge of that for you. It's all clean, ready to weld. So, and then this is the outer ring. Again, all 1/4 inch thick steel. We radius one corner of it, and you can see that when you get your rings. That is designed to go up against the tire. I don't care for a sharp edge there against the tire. Your tire's coming out, the bulge of the tire right away goes out. So if you have a sharp edge there, it tends to start to dig into the tire and chew up the tire. So when you got a $600 swamper on there, and your, you know, $60 set of beadlock rings is ruining that tire, that bothers me a little bit. So we roll the edge on every set of beadlocks that we send out. So that's our beadlocks. This is the weld ring, this is the bolt ring, as we call them on the website. And this, on the website, this would be 1. So if you're doing 4 wheels or 5, if you had a spare, this would be what you're getting for 1. 2 inners, 2 outers. A lot of people ask me, why don't we include the bolts? I'll tell you why. The bolts add a ton of weight to shipping. It's really not worth it. If you go to your local hardware store or you know, farm stores, whatever, they buy a lot of those bolts in bulk. You can get them cheaper from them than you can from me once you calculate in the shipping. So usually what we do is start with a 1 1/4 inch bolt with a nylock nut. That's what we use for putting these onto the rims themselves and clamping them down. Just a 3/8 diameter, 16 thread per inch bolt. Nothing special. Grade 8. I always get grade 8 because why not? The difference between cost and a grade 5 and a grade 8 is so minimal, I don't even bother with grade 5s anymore. Just go ahead and get the grade 8. So that's the deal there on the beadlock rings themselves. So on the inner ring, which is this one here, we do an inside the lip and we do an outside the lip. And I get a lot of questions about what the difference is. So the difference is how they fit in the rim. The inside the lip actually drops down into the rim just a tick. And it forms just a small gap all the way around for you to follow with your MIG welder. That's what it's designed for the MIG welder. Now, somebody who wants to TIG weld them, I would suggest using our outside the lip, which all that means is rather than dropping down inside the wheel, it sits up on top of the edge. So now your weld bead is going to be out here on the diameter rather than on the face. So that outside the lip virtually leaves no gap. The only gap there would be there is if something isn't flat or true or whatever, and you need to squeeze that together or whatever. So this way you have no gap to fill. To me, that's a lot easier with a TIG welder without building a ton of heat into the rim itself or the ring, whatever. So that's the difference between the inside of the lip and the outside of the lip. Inside the lip is designed for a guy with a wire feed welder in his garage. The outside the lip, use that when you have access to a TIG welder. Why would you want to do one versus the other? Outside the lip with the TIG welder, you're pretty much guaranteed an airtight seal right off the bat. Sometimes with a MIG welder, if you're not careful, you can get pinholes in your weld, and it will cause you to have an air leak, and that tire will slowly bleed down. Excuse me. So that brings me up to how you would weld this with a MIG welder. What I do is I lay this down into the rim and I tack it, you know, a bunch of times evenly, and then I'll do small stitches and I'll alternate those all around the rim. So where those small 2-inch welds or whatever come together, that's where you'll have the potential to have a leak. If you're not careful and you don't overlap them the right amount to get them to burn in together, you can have a leak there. So we're going to go through all of this on this little video series here on beadlocks, and we're also going to be restoring a set of rims at the same time to show you guys what we can do on wheels. And our dog here, Lexi, is licking the rust. So can you see these tricks? Can you pan down?
I can, let me change my angle just a hair. I know, but I need to come over this way just a hair.
Okay. Yeah, so, okay, stop. Yeah, here, go get your ball. So we're going to restore these wheels. And we're going to show you guys what we can do with a set of wheels. Lexi, get out of there. Okay, so this is probably the worst one of the bunch. This one's pretty terrible. You can see how bad the chrome is flaking off. We're going to sandblast these. Hey, get out of there. No, come on. Where's your ball? Get your ball. Give me your ball. So we're going to restore these. We're going to sandblast all of this off, and we're going to clean them up real nice. And then I'm going to show you guys right here in the garage how we do the beadlock rings, how we weld them on, all of that. We're going to do it right here in the garage, just like you guys would do at home. I'm going to bring a 220 portable welder home from the shop, and we're going to shoot the whole thing right here. So first step on these wheels is we're going to pull all of these little accent screws out of here. We're going to pull valve stems, some of them have steel, I think they have wheel weights on them, I've seen them. Maybe they're on the back. Anyway, we're going to pull all that stuff off. We're going to put these in the blast room, and we're going to beat them down. We're going to take all of this off. So we're going to knock them down, and then we'll bring them back here, and we'll weld the beadlock ring on, and we'll show you guys how to do that. And then we'll powder coat these wheels, put in some new accent screws, new valve stems. We'll get them all dialed in, and then we'll show you how that all goes together. And maybe I'll even mount a set of 38s on them that I got at the shop. Just for posterity's sake here, you only see 3 wheels. That's all I got. I literally pulled these out of the snowbank behind the shop just the other day for doing this video tonight. So we're looking for a 4th and even a 5th for a spare. This is a 16.5 wheel, and I know a lot of guys don't like 16.5 wheels, but a 16.5 needs a beadlock more than anything, okay? So that's why we're for sure doing them on a 16.5. We're gonna do the welding of the beadlock ring. We're gonna do the, I'm gonna show you a real slick way to do an anti-coning ring on these. And maybe I'll even go as far as doing a, we do a wire rod sometimes when we're really gonna get nasty on a set of tires that locks that tire into the bead. So we're gonna go through the whole gambit on these wheels and show you everything we can. So you can see all these wheels. They're all pretty screwed up. They were cheap wheels when they were new. This is actually probably the worst one right here. It looks probably the best on the face, but once you turn it over and look inside, it's pretty rusty. They're not so far gone yet that we can't save them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to save a set of wheels. We're going to show you how we do the beadlocks. We'll show you how we do the anti-coning ring and the whole works. And then you guys will have that information available to you anytime. You know, we can do it for you, or you can, you know, find somebody else near you that can do the sandblasting and powder coating and all that stuff. Anyway, just because a set of wheels is looking pretty trashy doesn't mean they're gone. There's still good steel in there. So we're going to save this set of wheels and we'll show you that. So that's it for this portion of the video, and then we'll be back again and we'll show you the next step of that. So there you go. Square bar on here and the clamps, and that's how we square these up to the wheel. So yeah, let's get going on that and we'll show you how that all works. So we always use these wheels were really rusty before, and if you caught the first portion of this video, you can see how rusty those wheels were. We've sandblasted them now, cleaned them up, and I'll show you some more of that here in a little bit. But when you got a really sandblasted clean piece of steel like this, you really need to use some sort of anti-spatter on there. Otherwise your weld splatter is going to stick everywhere and it's going to ruin the finish of your wheels in the end. So we always use this. We use this on all of our products all of the time. And you don't have to be careful with it. Spray a bunch of it in there. Get it down inside that wheel where that splatter is going to fall down in there. Like so. That's got a pretty good coat on it now. So when you're using a square bar like this to square your beadlock up to the wheel, you want to just tack where this square bar is right now. And I've already centered it up, kind of adjusted it, moved it around. I've set the valve stem where I want it. Everything's good to go. So all we got to do at this time is to start tacking, and we'll move that square bar around a couple of times and we'll get it all squared up all the way around the diameter. So right now I'm just going to put a tack here, and then I'm going to get a tack over on this side. And then we're going to move this square bar. I'm going to move it 90 degrees to what it was before and reclamp it. And that brings us up nice and flush again on these points. I'm going to tack it again. And this one over here looks like it needs just a little bit of push down, like so. Oop. And then we're going to turn it a little bit again. Now we're going to go in between those. And we're going to tack it again. And then we're going to turn it once more. About right in between where we got those. We just keep doing this over and over again until we get this nice and flat to the wheel. Now we're tacked up pretty good. Falling off. Nice and flat all the way around, that's what you're looking for. So at this point we can get rid of this bar. We don't need it any longer. So now that we got this nice and flat all the way around, I'm going to go ahead and add some tacks in between. We'll go over here. So now we got basically a tack every, couple inches. Here's kind of a big spot. I'm going to go ahead and break that up again. That looks pretty good. So our biggest space is about, 3 inches in there or whatever. This gives us a nice stitch pattern to follow, and that's what we're looking for. You don't want to have really, big long welds where you're putting a lot of heat on one side of the wheel at a time. So we're going to stitch this in, and we're going to do a little piece here, and then we're going to jump over here and do a little piece, and so on and so forth. And we're going to jump back and forth. And I'm going to add a little spray, a little anti-spatter in here now that that clamp is out of the way. So I can get that coated real good. I don't want a lot of splatter sticking to these. All sandblasted wheels, real nice for powder coating very shortly here. And we'll be doing that too. We'll show you how that goes.
Do you need me to move this back?
Yeah, probably back up a little bit so we don't get weld splatter on the lens. That would not be good. We're going to just do a couple little welds here, and then we'll probably cut away. And we're not going to do all of these welds because you've seen one, you've seen them all, right? So we're going to do just a couple little welds, and then we'll bring the camera back in and we'll zoom in. And basically what you're looking to do is do a little weld here, a little weld there, and then over this side, and you kind of bounce around, kind of like the same pattern you would use if you're tightening lug nuts on a wheel. You just keep bouncing back and forth and keep that heat spread around. So we'll go ahead and get this one in here. That's enough for now.
You want me to keep the YouTube one running, or?
Yeah, keep the YouTube camera going. Bring it back in here.
Okay.
Not the best welding in my life. Not used to this machine. I just brought this one home to do this. But yeah, so basically that's what it's about. Just some small stitches. You know, next we would go here, and then we do some weld there, some weld there, some weld there. And you keep bouncing around. And we'll go ahead and do that and finish this wheel up tonight yet. One thing you want to keep in mind when you're welding these, when you do a weld from here to here, you want to bring this weld over here and you want to cross over top of this a little bit. Don't stop right at this tack. What that's going to do is cause you a little pinhole leak right there. So overlap them a little bit. You'll end up with a little bit of a lump of weld there. That's okay. Just go ahead and grind it down, smooth it down a little bit. You do not need to grind this down super smooth. There's no reason to do that. And I used to do it too. It looks really nice, but there's really no need to do that. So that's how you weld those on there. Again, this wheel is one of those that was in the video last week, so you can see how much cleaner that is. We're doing the beadlock and we're doing a wheel restoration at the same time. So you can see we really saved that wheel. We took all them accent screws out of there, and interestingly enough, those accent screws were plastic. They were not a steel screw. They were just a press-in plastic plug that looked like a screw. So when we get these all done and powder coat and everything, we'll go back, put some stainless screws in here, make this look really nice. So stay with us, follow along, and you'll see how the rest of this wheel comes together right up until putting tires on. We got a set of 38s we're going to throw on here. So